you turn the other light off? Well, you have.
Oh, I have. Oh, fuck this kid. He knows nothing.
Yeah.
Wait, what was I doing? I was starting.
You were starting, yes.
Shut up. I get easily distracted by almost everything.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. It is me, Darcy. It is him, Kris, Smugface. Other words that I can't say in the start of a video on this platform.
It's a lot of words.
If you just want to see me saying all those words, that could be the first video on Patreon. And welcome back to the Unnamed Podcast, the podcast where me and Kris sit here for and talk rubbish and other things, but mainly rubbish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah. It's always rubbish.
Yeah.
And yeah, welcome back. As usual, we'll start with a little bit of channel news, a little bit of something. It is the week this week.
It is this week, yes.
What came out on Monday? Oh, Mario Kart came out on Monday.
Kart.
Mario Kart, yeah. Yeah, the Mario Kart where me and Kris finally decided that 150cc, that's for babies who are stupid and small and babyish. And us being real men, strong men, brave men, will take on 200cc. And
we didn't do too bad.
we didn't do great.
No, we didn't.
But we also didn't crash out and come last, so
That is true.
swings and roundabouts.
What did we go?
I came second overall.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I got a silver medal.
I mean, that's
We don't have any golds in 200cc.
Yeah, it's about all I've done in solo.
It's
200.
pretty rough. Although we are hoping that the next filming of Mario Kart that we do will have the new map packs. So we will be dropping back into 150cc.
Well, it does have the new map, actually.
It does. There you go.
It does, because I've played a couple of them.
They've come out apparently. Well, there's still two to
left,
come out,
yes,
I believe.
yeah.
So
Oh, there's a couple left.
there's
I didn't look at the number.
each pack has two
Oh,
Grand
okay,
Prix in it, and there's 4 left. So hopefully next time we film, as Kris said, one lot has come out. So we'll be dropping back into 50cc to get our golds, get that, and then pretty much once we have.
Oh, do we have to do that? I've just spent so much time doing that in my game.
Yes, we do. Once we have all of the golds in 150cc, we will permanently and ultimately move and live the rest of our lives at 200cc.
Yes.
Or mirror.
Which is still... What is that, 150 or 200?
I think mirror's 150.
I think it is. It sounds
But I'm not
right.
sure.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Either way.
Have you ever gone back to 50 after doing 200?
Never. I refuse to go down.
It sucks.
So, yeah. Did you watch that video?
I haven't.
Okay, well you should, because I make fun of you. A lot. Well, future Darcy makes fun of you.
But I'm aware of that.
Like, if in the video Darcy makes fun of you, but then future Darcy also makes fun of you.
Oh, shit, okay.
So you get a quick double to the face.
Oh, nice. I'll have to see that one.
It's well deserved, but,
I mean...
because you're so ugly. And then what came out today was part 2 of The Room 3, which is looking to be probably a 4-part series.
Think part, yeah.
Yeah, probably a 4-part series, so...
I don't know exactly how long the rest of it is.
Yes. Well, we're not really sure at the moment because we haven't filmed it, but judging from the amount of time it's taken, I would say each part's going to take us... each new chapter's going to take us roughly about half an hour, and then going from the last game, there is literally one chapter. There'll probably be a chapter towards the end, which is a chapter, but it's literally click this one thing. You're done!
Yeah, probably.
So, that could, depending.
We'll have to wait and see. I haven't played it yet, so...
Well, your trend has been lowering in time. Like, your first one was almost an hour to do one part. So, the trend is there. Other things that we've been doing channel-wise is I did some solo filming. I have filmed the Subnautica. That is filmed and in the process of being edited. And on Monday, I filmed a little bit of Halo.
Nice.
Which turned into a lot of Halo. And that is edited just about and ready to be finalized But yeah, that was supposed to be, about half an hour, 45 minutes of Halo. It turned into 2 parts at about 45 and half an hour each. So
Yes.
yeah,
That's what I'd expect.
oh, trust me, it got bad. It got real bad.
I'll have to watch it.
Like that is the amount of time that I've cut it down to. That is probably less than a third of the amount of film that I had.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a lot going on,
Yep.
and most of it incredibly boring.
Wait
it
times?
Yes,
Oh.
like nearly every game took me about 20 minutes to get into.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
But then something crazy happened,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What?" And I finished what I wanted to do
Yeah.
while that was happening, and I went, I have to watch this back, and I watched back, and I went, "Wow, they're pretty bad." Like, I was on point. I was great. Everything was going well for me. Killed many people, but yeah, no, it got. Let's just say at one point I completely lost sound, and I thought it was just my headphones. It turns out the entire game lost sound.
Oh.
So I had a no sound games of Halo going on,
Oh.
but in the weirdest possible way. It was pretty weird.
Yeah. Very much so.
So they've been edited. There's 2 parts of that to come out. To give you an idea of what happens in those, I have decided to name them Halo's Having a Stroke Again, and I feel better about myself now.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, I think I have the gist of what's happening.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
What else? So, as
Probably have
stated,
to do those achievement runs again.
yeah. So, Kris is not a Xbox boy.
No.
He's never really Xboxed.
Not properly, anyway. Or not as much.
So, a plan is to have him do all of the Halo games with me. We'll do all the campaigns straight up, just on Legendary. No Lasso. Lasso can wait.
Yeah.
There will be Lasso, but for now, just Legendary or Heroic, depending on how bad Kris does. Okay?
Look, I think
So
we
on
just
him.
stick it out on Legendary. Yeah. It'd be more funny.
And then the other one is Gears of War. Kris has never played Gears of War. Gears of War is like... Gears of War pretty much made the cover shooter in the early days,
Yeah.
which would then become an oversaturated field of games.
True.
So, Kris has never played any of them, and there's 5 of them. Technically 6.
Never really got into first-person
Wait.
shooters, so it was...
Yeah, no, there's technically
tough to
6.
do.
Yeah, so it's not a first-person shooter.
Fuck, it's third person.
Yes, it is.
I never really got into shooters.
So, yeah, so we'll play all 6 games with Kris, including Judgment.
Yes.
Yeah, so play some Judgment. If you're a fan of that, look forward to that. Kris is going to do it. He's never done it before. He's going to fucking learn.
Yes.
What else in channel news? Oh, new subscriber.
Oh.
So much love to that person.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Crazy Show.
Yeah.
If we get one more, right? If we get one more, we're currently tied with Jordan.
Oh, we're tied with Jordan.
He also has 22.
Whoa.
If we get one more, we beat him. And then we can shove that in his weird walking face.
Yes. And
I don't
we
know-
will.
I don't know why it walks with his head.
Hopefully. We get it before the trip.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's just it.
And then we'll have the 23 subscriber club. And he
Yeah.
won't be invited.
You sit over there.
Yeah, you go sit over there. You're not allowed on this ski lift. This is the 23 subscribers on more ski lift.
And that night, assume he'll be there. That'll be probably his first appearance on the channel.
Kick him down a hole.
We could do that.
What else is happening? Well, I guess technically this is channel news. I have officially made a Patreon page.
Oh, finally.
It's
Cool.
there. It exists. It's real.
I thought it was just giving me an extra step this time, but holy, he's outdone.
Well,
what I
it's
thought.
not finished. It exists.
Okay.
It has the channel picture, the purple swaggy background with my face when I had my short hair.
Yes.
The one that you see if you click on our channel.
Yes. Oh, and,
That's
and
there.
it is right here.
No.
Well, not that exact face, but that hair.
Oh, well, yeah, that's the dude. That's me. Except when I had my hair cut off.
Yes.
What was I going to say? That's all happening. That's all pretty good. That's cool. Yeah, there is nothing there. There are no tiers. I haven't even fully set up everything yet. But it does exist. There is a possibility. I don't know how Patreon works at this point in terms of like what they do. I know how Patreon works, but I don't know what they do because I haven't technically finalized the page yet.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know if it's sitting there and just you can't really do anything on it, or if it's kind of like still hidden in the back. But it does exist. There is a page registered to us that has the channel picture and the channel name.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's existing, and I figure I've got 4 tiers, right? 4 tiers.
What is for?
Yeah, you got your classic supporter.
Yep.
And you're going to have the blue boy. That's going to look like the classic supporter, except with a blue background in your face instead of mine.
It's going to be a smug one.
Yeah, well, every look is smug. Then, the next tier,
Yep.
swaggy orange gimp bean. Yeah, that's right. Swaggy orange background with the orange Captain First bean on.
Yeah.
And then the final tier, the top tier, the absolute goat, big green fanboy.
Green fanboy.
Picture of the chief, green background.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have the colours. The colours that matter.
Yeah.
Swaggy purple, me. Swaggy, well not swaggy, but just normal blue, Kris. Swaggy orange, me. Green, money. No, but yeah. So in terms of that, as I said, that's probably as far as we would go. I don't imagine us having many more tiers, and in all honesty, most of those tiers are just to be jokes. But big thing is that we have some discussions, talking, planning to actually do about what our Patreon is going to be.
Yes.
What we want, where, and what we can actually put there. What,
Yeah.
the minutia. So yeah, that's always good.
Yeah.
But it is, it's. I have finally stopped being as lazy, and something now does exist. There is still no Instagram, but they could be, maybe.
Eventually.
At this rate, probably in 3 years' time.
Yeah.
If I work on it as hard as I worked on this Patreon thing, 2026.
2026? Hey, by that point I might not be here.
Kris will be dead. First Instagram post, Kris's funeral. Yeah, so I think that just about wraps up everything I have to say on channel news.
Yeah.
New subscriber, loving that. Patreon doing stuff. Darcy not being so lazy.
It's a shocker to me too.
Editing, Darcy not being lazy. This week's theme has been Darcy actually did shit.
Oh. That has not been my theme for this week.
No, because you're lazy.
I mean, it was on Sunday. I did some stuff on Sunday. Just stuff at work, but I did stuff.
Oh, actually, no, we're not done with channel news yet.
Nope.
Okay. Obviously. Because other than the Subnautica video done by me, and the Halo video done by me, and the last bit of Bunnyman done by both of us, but I'll take the credit for that one. It was me. We are once again at the point where we have much filming to do, and many things to be done. So, as always, if you have any suggestions, please put them in. We've got a few ideas of our own. If you have any thoughts for Halloween, put them in. If we like them, we might use them. If we like them and we don't use them, we'll probably use them next Halloween.
Or just somewhere else if we like it.
Or just somewhere else if it's, if we feel like it.
Yeah.
We do have a massive list of things to do. One of the things that we're going to do And I actually have teed up to film tonight. Is me and Kris will be playing some Among Us with others.
Okay.
But not friends.
No.
Never friends.
No. We're gonna find them.
Yeah. I've written that down. I have. It's in my.
I've seen it.
My big book of things, and like if I go to the things that I've got to look up, I was like, okay, games that I should look into. Maybe we could play, and then it's like, oh, other friends. I'm not sure what they are, but they're on the list because someone said you should get other friends. I can't say I disagree with them. But yeah, so we want to do some Among Us. We're definitely probably going to do that tonight. I've been trying to get Kris set up on his Xbox so that we can do some Xbox related stuff that is different to other Xbox related stuff that we do. We actually did we do a lot of Xbox stuff?
No, not a lot.
Like a bit of Hitman, but
yeah,
like some of the things I want to look into are things like Brawlhalla. I know that's very much like Smash Bros.
On the
but
PC?
Yes, that's PC.
Oh.
That's PC.
Yeah,
that'll be played on the PC. But that's something I do want to do because I reckon me and you in a 2v2 ranked matches.
Okay.
That'd be interesting. And we'd actually be playing other people, so no fighting Rubits in that one.
True.
GTA. GTA is something that we've been looking at getting into for a while, but that involves kind of setting up Kris because GTA is one of those fun ones where it's like, no, you must all be on the same console. You must.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit fun, isn't it?
Not that it really changes anything on my aspect. I do not have it on my PC.
I do.
Yeah.
Fun thing about that, when I got it on the PC, they were like, oh yeah, you can transfer your character over so you can have them on both. And you just take, like, you get one transfer. And it takes a snapshot of your character and puts it on the PC with everything you've got.
Doesn't save everything though.
And I did that, and I got none of the stuff I had. So I had my character, but none of my businesses, none of my stuff I bought. And I was just like, I thought this was supposed to be a carryover of everything I had. That's what you said in your thing about the carryover function.
Nope.
That was fun. Another one that has come up very recently on my list to play with Kris, or as I like to call it, the Kris list.
Okay, yes.
Is Pokemon Stadium has recently come onto the Switch, and I was like, me and Kris could do some Pokemon Stadium.
We're good.
Old school Pokemon Stadium. Fucking old school.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, we do have a lot of filming to do. So if you do have any suggestions, please throw them at us. We are open to doing pretty much anything except Fortnite. I think I say that all the time.
And I agree.
It's not that we don't like Fortnite as a game, it's just that I'm actually allergic to Fortnite and watching it makes me projectile vomit. So I can't do it.
I just don't like it as a game.
Oh, and it's unpopular and I don't like to be around it. Just like rats and lakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you do have any Halloween suggestions, even though we have a pretty big list of things to look at for Halloween, we are always happy to reevaluate.
Yes, if we find something that works better,
absolutely,
add it in.
Or something that is, more doable.
Yes.
Some things around Halloween. Our first ever Halloween stuff, we did a lot of the Dark Anthologies stuff.
Yes.
And whilst fun games to play, not great for the kind of format we had because they're a little bit too long.
True.
They're just a little bit too long. So, like, our Phasmophobia, that's pretty nice. You can get a few short games in.
Yeah. And I imagine there'll be another event during it as well.
Probably. So, yeah, that ought to be interesting.
It'll be, definitely will.
Yeah. So I think that actually does wrap up channel news, unless you have anything to say. Add to it.
No.
Once again, Kris proving his worth to the channel. Clap for him.
Hey, look, I said a couple of things.
He said a couple of things. can't hold it against him. He said a couple of things.
Yep.
Lemony.
But not warm.
No, not warm. What am I looking at? Oh, Kris.
Yes.
Kris.
Okay.
I want to fucking talk to you about some shit.
Oh, shit.
I want to talk to you about some stuff. And that stuff is, Kris, renting video games. Back in the past, renting video games.
Oh,
Did you do it?
Oh,
were you a video game renter?
I was.
I think we all were.
Yeah. Well, not everyone.
Not everyone?
Well, not everyone watching would
True,
know
true.
about it now. But yes.
Yes, we are old.
But no, I
to be fair, okay, I'm gonna level this. I am too young to have ever rented N64 and PlayStation.
Oh yeah, no,
all of my renting. I'm a young lad. All of my renting was like original Xbox.
Mine was PS2.
Right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, right? Because I was watching something and they were talking about renting video games. So I was just like, I remember renting video games.
Yeah.
And like they were looking back at it with the nostalgia, being like, "Oh, renting video games was great because you got to test the video game before you bought it. That was good."
Yes, it was.
But then they were like, "But if the video game is short enough, you might be able to finish it in a rental period."
Yes.
And that's kind of where I was like, "Okay, well, I was a bit young to remember that stage of the rental."
Yeah.
By the time I was renting, most video games were long enough that in a single rental period you were not finishing it. Because video games, unlike movies, always had like the shortest fucking rental time you could imagine.
Oh, I think you could get up to a week.
You could, but you know, there was really no point with video games.
True.
Because you like rent it on the Saturday morning, and then it'd be
unless you're on holidays. If you're on holidays, you could go the week. Yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't really rent videos on holidays because we would travel, but
yeah, I did.
We'd have to go places, so it'd be like, you can't get that because you're not going to be here to return it. Okay. Let me tell you, those late fees were ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Not so much on the video games, but the movies absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, you were a day late. That's like $14. I could buy this for $14.
You back then, yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I was thinking about it because I was like, oh yeah, I remember renting a few video games. It wasn't something I did often because like, again, one, I was a busy kid. I was always out playing sport and doing stuff like that. Like my Saturdays were like the entire day was spent playing sport.
Yeah.
So
like I only played like when I was younger. If I was playing games, and a mate was around. If I was playing those games, it was because they were staying over for the night.
Yeah.
That was it. Otherwise, we were just like out back playing games.
Yeah. No, but yeah, so I was like, you know, I didn't rent very often, but I just like remember this one game that I rented, and it stuck with me, like for so long till the point where I actually managed to buy it.
Okay. Yes.
And it was the hardest game for me to find. It took me so long to get one that worked, and when I finally did buy it, I could only play it on the Xbox One when they added backwards compatibility, and that was Conquer Live and Reloaded.
Oh yes.
And I was like, God damn it, because I ended up finding a copy from America, and I was like, oh, fuck. Like, this is the old school days. This is where it's like power locked and all that kind of crap.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
And then like when the Xbox One came out, because I bought it, I was like, I'm not passing up on this opportunity. I want this game.
Isn't it good that they don't have to deal with that these days of having region locked things?
They still do in DVDs and stuff.
It's a lot less common.
It is a lot less common.
It is far less common. So generally...
But there is still locking because we all get things differently.
Well, yes. Yeah.
And we not only do we get different versions, but we also have different distributors.
True.
Which is how you can end up with like a copy of a DVD that doesn't have any branding from the distributor from your home because you bought it from overseas.
Yeah.
And then the people look at it and go, that's fake. And you go, no, it's just a different distributor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Conquer Live and Reload. And I found it online and I was like, I can't pass this up. I'm like, this is the only... Because I rented that from Blockbuster.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I rented it from Blockbuster and I was like, I had it for like 2 days. because it was like one of the hot rentals at the time.
Oh, and they limited how long you
So you could only get it for 2 days. And I was like, okay. And I'm playing it. And like, I remember, because me and my mate used to play Conker's Bad Fur Day all the time on the N64. Like, we fucking love that game. Of course, we'd only ever play like the multiplayer mode. And Conker Live and Reloaded multiplayer, not as good as Conker's Bad Fur Day multiplayer. Like, that multiplayer is way better because it's just, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Running around as squirrels and teddies. But when it comes to actually playing the campaign, I much prefer Live and Reloaded because I think it's almost exactly the same. I could be wrong there. There could be a few differences, but it looks so much better. And like, you know, we're talking about like original Xbox graphics, and like that they don't look particularly nice. But compared to original N64 graphics, they're amazing.
Oh yeah.
So 100%. I played it for 2 days. I had it for 2 days. And I went, okay, I'm going to find this game. Never could. No. Never could find it.
Which is weird was considering like it was a hot release.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is weird.
Well, sometimes I wonder, you know how Blockbuster used to get like, we're the only ones who have this thing? I wonder if it was something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, so I was like, could never find it. And then I found a copy online. And I was just like, okay, bought it. And I was like, oh, because this was towards the end of the 360.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, no, I can't pass up on it. I'm like, I will find a way to play this game. Like, if I have to put it on my PC and like run a whatever, I will find a way to play this game. So I bought it. And then I kind of forgot about it because like it just wasn't playable for me at the time.
Yeah.
And then the Xbox One came out, and I was like, and I read the Xbox One and went, that's they're not region locked. They can play discs from every region. And I went, well, that's interesting. And it couldn't play Conker Live and Reload because there was no backwards compatibility.
That's right, yeah.
And then there was this thing called backwards compatibility. And finally, after so long, I could finally go back and play Conker Live and Reloaded.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like that game lived in my head for so long because I was just like, you know, got 2 days of it and I was like, oh, this game's great. It looks fantastic. It's this, it's that. And then, yeah. And then like when Blockbuster was closing down and everything, I was like,
surely you could get it from there.
That was my thought. I'm like, I'll go into Blockbuster. They're having their closing down. I'll buy it. I went in and I was looking through all their video games and I was like to the guy, hey, do you have any copies of Conker Live and Reloaded left? And he was like, nah. And I was like, oh man, that kind of sucks. He's like, yeah. He goes, to be fair, we like a couple of years ago they just stopped coming back. And I was like, fuck.
Oh.
People stealing them. I'm like, that's
well, that makes sense.
But yeah, that was kind of that was just a game that lived in my head.
The other biggest thing when you went to rent things is like, oh, you know, we only ever had one copy of that. Someone rented that about a year ago. Yeah, we haven't got it back.
It was $7,000 in. It was $7,000 in late fees, but we're going out of business, so we're probably never collecting that. No. Wouldn't that be great though? Wouldn't you just be the luckiest person in the world if you were like just a massive late fee haver from Blockbuster?
Yeah.
And then Blockbuster went out of business and you just went, yeah!
Yes!
I knew if I waited long enough, eventually I wouldn't have to pay that.
You just rock up to buy everything cheap.
I would like to buy this game, please.
Please? Thank you.
Wait, aren't you the guy that owes like $20,000 in late fees? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Bye. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was other things that I noticed with some games is a lot of the descriptions for them are just wrong.
Oh well, that was just old school.
So like I found one game. It's like, hey, I'm gonna get this game so I can play it with my friends. And I looked at the back of it. It's like single player, and I'm like, this is a multiplayer game.
You don't have friends. That was weird.
I had friends at the time. It's like no, it was. I think it was Dynasty Warriors 5.
Oh yeah, that was.
It was multiplayer, but they had it set for single player, and I'm like,
I think I
ended up walking up front and like, this is a 2-player game, and like, oh, it's only single player. It's like, no, it's multiplayer. I play it with my mate all the time.
Well, that was another game that I borrowed. I borrowed Dynasty Warriors. It was either 5 or 6. I can't remember. It was old school.
I know mine was definitely 5.
It was an old school one,
that with one of my friends that moved away from Mackay. Yeah. That's why I had to rent it, because
he owned it.
And then it was within like, I think he had a week and a half. He found out he was moving. They were moving, and a week and a half total was like, oh well. Didn't know exactly which day it was. I'm like, I'm gonna go see if he's moved. So I rode around to his place and was like, yep, no, they're gone.
That's like, yeah, I remember renting Dynasty Warriors, and I remember the mad rush because it was like the day it was due. It was like, well, the mum and dad were like, okay, gotta go to school, and when we get home from school, we drop it off everything that's due back at Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. So I got ready for school, and I was like fucking down on the Xbox, and I'm like, gotta go to school. I'm like, hold on. I'm just playing this game.
Gotta unlock Lubu.
Not that it ever mattered.
Oh, it didn't. No, that was the biggest thing that I did when I rented it. Was like I hunted specifically for Lubu and his horse.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was the only red horse in the game.
Absolutely.
And look, Lubu was just badass.
Yeah. He always was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was my big thing. Like renting video games, I was just like, I was like, it was such a good thing to do, but I was like, it always. I was never one of those people that like rented a video game and then went, I'm gonna buy it. Like I would rent games. So I was like, I don't really think I'm interested in this game, but it looks kind of cool, so I'll give it a go. And I don't think I ever actually, other than Conquer Live and Reloaded, I don't think I ever actually bought a game that I rented.
I may have bought Dynasty Warriors 5.
And now I just have so many games that it's ridiculous, and it is.
And it's whether or not he's fully interested in them or not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I have so many games that I have no interest in whatsoever. I also have a lot that I have interest in. I just know that I can't start.
I have quite a few of those too.
Like I have all the Kingdom Hearts games, and I just have not started them yet because.
So do I. I did start one of them.
I thought about starting one once, and I was just like, "Don't be ridiculous! You don't have the time for this." But yeah, so that was just something I was like thinking about. I was like thinking back to the rental days and being like, "Was that good?" I don't know. A lot of people like look back on those rental days and be like, "It was the greatest thing," and I was like, "Was it though?" Because like, I can't help but like feel. Like that when your parents were like, okay, you can rent a game. And the games are always more expensive than the movies.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. It's like you can rent a game.
Well, don't get me wrong, there's far more content in a game than a movie.
Well, but here's the thing, though. Like, you can rent a game. So I think it was like $14 to rent a game back then. Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely. And, you could rent one game every time you went to Blockbuster. And then I was like, wait. I'm like, if I do the maths on that, would I have been better off never renting a game from Blockbuster and just getting like an extra game every 6 months?
I mean, you could have.
Remember how I haven't been getting games for like the last 6 visits to Blockbuster? Can I just have a game bought from me instead?
Please?
Yeah.
Please? Come on.
But yeah, that was kind of my whole thing. It's like, I know that like, back in the day, like, I say back in the day, but like, a lot of my thoughts come now. It's like, oh well, if I want a game, I just buy it because I have money. But like even before I actually had money, video games just seemed cheaper overall. So like if I went to my parents and say, "Can I get this game?" They're like, "Oh, okay." Christmas is just around the corner. Yeah, you can get the game. It's on sale, whatever. Yeah. And it was like, you're getting like $60, $70 games. But like back when it was like the days of the PlayStation, you get like 1 or 2 a year and you'd be like, yes! Yeah, and it was like, I don't think it was because they were any more expensive. It was just that. I think in fact they were actually the same price. It was just that. As time went on, people were earning more money.
That is true.
So
that is true. Because I distinctly remember there was a point where I was like, oh, this game's a bit expensive. $50.
Oh, absolutely.
And now if we see a $50 game, it's like, oh, what, huh? That's...
I'm pretty sure that's why
Yes.
I bought Destiny 2. I just walked in one day and I was like, oh, under $50? Yeah, why not?
Pretty much, yeah.
I hate Destiny. Yeah, but it's only $50.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was funny. Like, I walked into JV one day, and we're like, let's get a game on the Xbox so we can play with a bunch of people, because we didn't have a lot other than Destiny.
Yep.
So we went and got GTA.
Right.
So we bought a brand new copy instead of a pre-owned copy,
As you do.
because the
It was
brand
cheaper.
new copy
Let's see
was about $40 cheaper.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me all the time. I used to walk into JB Hi-Fi and I'd just be like, someone would be like, oh, I remember this one guy, he was like standing there, he's like, oh, you're gonna get a new game? And I was like, yeah. He's like, you should buy them pre-owned. It's better. I was like, except for the pre-owned ones. And I pulled out 2 games. I'm like, $60 for the pre-owned, $34 for the brand new. And he went, wait, what? I went, yeah, JB do this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Because they buy the pre-owned for a certain price, they
They've
have
got
to
to
sell it for a
at that
certain price.
So they refuse to drop it, so that
Like,
a lot of the time you just look at both of them. Don't just go for one.
Yeah, absolutely, always. If you see they've got it pre-owned, you go and have a look if they've got it new. And if they're at the same price point, you buy the fucking new.
Oh yeah, 100%. But you always, if it's the same price or cheaper, always go for the new one.
No, absolutely.
Because as much as they may clean it up, it's there's a possibility that it has scratches on it that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, the game disc might have some, minor flaws.
Yeah.
Generally, they're pretty good at promising that you're going to get a lifetime out of it. But
Yeah.
I have seen people go back there to complain because they literally bought a pre-owned one and after 2 hours it just stopped functioning completely.
Well, yeah, because
And the guy was like, oh yeah, we only test them for half an hour.
Yeah, because you got to look at the discs.
Yeah.
Because it depends on, if there's a scratch on it, depends on which way the scratch is going to how long
absolutely.
it's going to last.
Absolutely. But, and then there's the other thing of a lot of the time, especially with discs now, if you buy a disc, you get some kind of bonus for the fact that you bought a disc. It's like you buy pre-owned, you ain't getting that bonus.
That is true. It's because it's already been used. Which is unfortunate. That was me.
That was you. No, but, the other, yeah. But yeah, I was just thinking back to the old rental days. Because whenever you watch on YouTube, everyone always talks about, 10 things gamers now wouldn't understand. It's video game rentals. And I was like, I was a gamer when video game rentals was a thing. And I'm like,
I didn't do
I'm
it all
kind
that
of
often.
glad they're gone.
I am too. It was definitely, it had its advantage that...
However...
it would have an advantage now.
Well,
Was
I
when
would
the
argue
AAA
that
come-
it's back now. Because technically Game Pass is game rental.
True.
Those games can come and go.
That is true.
And the thing is, it's kind of game rental in TV rental kind of terms, where it's okay, you have this game rented because you have the subscription. However, you want to buy it, you buy it for cheaper because it's currently on the subscription. And it's okay. So it's it's one of those things where it's technically you're renting the game. However, if you do decide to purchase because you've been playing it for a while, you get it at a cheaper price.
Yeah, which is fair.
Generally
which
a couple bucks off. So it
back
could be
in the rental
anywhere.
days, you didn't have that. You were paying
No.
full price again.
No.
But there is an advantage to that, a rental type thing.
But wouldn't you
nowadays.
hate that?
Because
That
back
was
in the day,
worst thing.
If you saw a game and you looked at, let's say you saw a trailer, and it looked good, you were generally getting a good game.
Oh yeah.
Whereas nowadays, you can see a trailer they make it look fantastic, and then it's trash.
My problem with that is that's always been a thing, but there's always been the
I just feel it's more common now.
in-game rendering. You know how they put in-game rendering on trailers, and it's no, so this is in-game. It's in-game rendering. I'm but the same way you put that little in-game rendering thing over it to say, yeah, we've rendered this in-game, you could put that over non-in-engine rendered stuff. You could have that rendered on a super, because I remember, I think it might have been for a PS3 game, and they were this is what the game's going to look like, and they're showing it off, and it was wow, those graphics are top tier, and they were flashing up with the little thing, in-game render, in-game render, in-game render, And then like it came out after the game came out, and everyone's going, "This looks nothing like the trailer." They're like, "Oh yeah, it was. It's the same game." And then someone like did some stuff and went, "Oh yeah, this isn't in-game render. If the game is running on this super powerful dev computer,
yeah,
which is like so much more powerful than the fucking PlayStation 3," and they were like, "Oh, we didn't technically lie." It's like, you lied. 100% you
on a
lied.
technicality, they didn't, but they did because no one was playing it.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, that's like something that I've always just like, because like everyone gets so excited because like, oh look, it's in-engine render and stuff. I'm like, we've been lied to before by this, guys,
many times.
And they always say in-engine rendered, in-game rendered, and you look at it and you go, oh, that looks pretty good. And then when you get it, it looks nothing like that. And their excuse is always like, oh well. You see, once we finished the game off and did loading times, we had to bring all the quality down a bit just so that it would run smoother.
Oh, yeah.
You go, so you lied.
Yeah.
And you knew you were lying. When you ran that tiny little thing, you went, doesn't matter if the load times are terrible on this, make it look fantastic so that it looks fantastic. Because that's all the trailer does, right? The trailer's just selling you on what it looks like. Oh, yeah. Which is why I generally don't even get excited for a game until I have seen gameplay footage, because it's like the cinematic trailers can look fantastic. Oh yeah, they should look fantastic.
That's the point of them.
But until you see gameplay footage, you don't know. Well, even gameplay footage can be faked because they can run them on more powerful computers. Especially now, like back in the day when it was like, this is a PlayStation game, you had it on the PlayStation. Yep. This is a Nintendo game. You had it on the Nintendo. This is a PC. It was on the PC. There wasn't any cross-pollination. Now, I feel every trailer we're getting with gameplay footage is like, this is the PC version on the most powerful PC we can get. It's got like 20 Threadrippers in it.
Oh, yes.
But, like, you just sit there and you go like, okay, so this is like this is the top end. How many graphics cards are running this? Because like you just know that the best footage you see is not what you're going to get on a console. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're looking at it and you're going, we're not getting that.
High chance, no.
But yeah,
it's common to get that these days.
Yeah. But that's well, I feel like that takes us into the next one I wanted to ask you about, which is buying video games in the past.
Yes.
And like, to me personally, I just feel like buying video games in the past was a safer bet. Yeah. Like,
see, I used to buy games by looking at the back of them. I never actually
did any research.
No, because I had internet at home, but it was slow as hell because everyone else was using it, and it was back in the days of ADSL.
Oh, absolutely.
And that wasn't even that long ago.
Well,
but still.
See, now this might just be the rose-tinted glasses talking, but like I always feel like when you were buying games in the past, you had a you might get dudded. You might buy a bad game.
True. I don't think I ever did.
I don't think I ever
buying
did.
Something I was interested in.
I don't think I ever did either. But you could buy a bad game. However, I think the difference was back then you could buy a bad game that was just fundamentally bad, but it was very rare that you would buy a broken game.
Yeah, that was extremely rare. That was me again.
This good. This good. Mr. Popular. Mr. Popular, they call him. Yeah. Fucking people from work.
This one was, yes.
See, I know everything. Yeah, no, I don't know. I just feel like... And I know that there were broken games in the past. Yeah. We all know there were broken games in the past. Heck, it added some of the funnest parts to video games.
And that was the difference between a broken game then and a broken game today.
Yes.
The broken game back then still worked.
Or at least was entertaining. Whereas now it's like, oh, your game's broken, and it's like, crash. Yeah. Not fun. Oh, like, I'm trying to think of like some of the most broken games I played in the past, where it was like you could exploit pretty much everything. I don't think many of them led to crash. Whereas I've played quite a few games now that in their broken states are like, crash.
The only time I ever had a game turn off or stop working while playing
crash
was because
it didn't
I couldn't trust my sister with the game itself. because we had multiple PlayStations in the house.
Right.
She would use one of the games.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you would go and grab the game, and you'd be like, "Why is this covered in scratches?"
I can beat that.
And
Obviously.
I mean, when I say covered in scratches, I wish it was the from the top to the center kind of scratch, but no, it was from up the top right along the side of it.
Yeah.
So it literally, the game would no longer work.
Yeah. No, I can beat that. My little sister and me, there is 8 years between us.
Yes.
And she loves some games.
Yes.
She absolutely loved The Simpsons Hit and Run.
That was a fun game, though.
It was a fun game. I loved it. I had a copy of it. It was one of my most played games. She loved to play it.
And as soon as I finished out came the cheats.
And then one day, I popped open the case, and my beloved Simpsons Hit and Run disc was snapped in half.
Oh, no, I had that. A few of my games got snapped in half.
And, there's no maliciousness there. She didn't do it on purpose. She was just a little kid with clumsy, fat fingers.
Difference between you and me in that situation.
But that
You're
was
8 years apart. Mine was 20 minutes apart.
Yeah, and she's older.
Yes. And she was the one that screwed them up.
But yeah, no, that was heartbreaking to my little child heart.
Oh, yes. Especially that game. I mean, and the other fun thing about
why couldn't she have done it to Aliens Colonial Marines?
Oh, please. The other fun thing is cheats back then.
Mm.
They were so fun to do. I never did them until I finished the game completely, but
I think fundamentally you're wrong. Well, I think cheats back then haven't changed much from the cheats today, except for the fact that now you have to pay for them.
That is true.
Hey, you want a new cosmetic? Well, back in the day, it'd be a cheat code or an unlockable. Now, give us your money. Just give it to us.
Well, actually, all of the Ratchet and Clank games still have cheats in them. They call them cheats. But you had to unlock them. You've unlocked them. And
I don't get into cheats like that.
Yeah. But, what I enjoyed doing was, weirdly, with the Spyro games, a lot of them were cosmetics. You'd either get 99 lives.
Yep.
And there was one other thing that actually... invulnerability.
Yep.
And or everything else was cosmetic. So giving them a giant head. Making them paper thin so that when you're looking behind them, you couldn't see them. Which just weird. But,
yeah. Well, that's kind of the other thing. Is stuff that used to be free in games is now premium cosmetic DLC, and you're like,
no,
it's a different costume.
That's all it was.
It's a different costume. I think for me, they were just unlockables. That now it's just I don't know. You feel cheated sometimes because you're like, this unlockable is shit. But you didn't care because it was fucking free. Yeah. Now you get it and it's like, I really want that one skin that's in this pack with so much other trash that I don't want. And it's $15.
Dude, it's...
But even that, let me say this before you go on. Even that was better than now where it's you have the chance to unlock it if you work hard enough, if you get enough boxes.
Yeah, that one's annoying as shit.
That's worse than paying for it, because at least then you're I'm going to put down money. I will get this. And now it's I'm going to put down money. If I work hard enough and I only play Call of Duty, I can get this one skin that I want.
Yes. No.
How did we come to accept that?
And that's the irritating thing. So I had so much fun with those sorts of things, especially with San Andreas. I had so much fun with it.
San Andreas was good fun.
They were
until they remade it.
Yeah, I heard that was a bit of a flop.
Well, here's the problem, right? I think even remade, if they hadn't fucked up the way they did, it was always going to be a flop.
True.
Because I went back and played it. Now, I didn't play it long enough to have any of the issues that everyone else had.
Okay.
Why? Because I went back and I played 3 first. I played about 10 minutes of 3 and went, oh shit, I can't play this anymore. And I used to play 3 all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that you literally had to go to places and find guns floating in the world.
Oh, yeah, yep.
I was like, oh, okay. It's like, but you know what game I loved more than Grand Theft Auto 3?
No.
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I'll go back and I'll play Vice City because I love Vice City. Vice City was good fun.
Yeah.
But I'll go back. I'm gonna play. Oh, because I bought the 3-game set. I'm gonna play San Andreas because I sunk so many hours into that game. I loved everything about it.
Yes.
I put it on. I walked around the map. I looked at some stuff. I went, wow. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto 5 has spoiled us. Now playing San Andreas feels bad.
Oh, damn.
And then I kind of went to it's got a big map. I love that big map. And I was like, Grand Theft Auto 5 has spoiled us.
Oh, no. Oh, man. See, that's something I've wanted to do is go back and play San Andreas. But, this sounds bad.
Look, you could go back and you could play the non-definitive edition one. It would probably be okay. It's not going to have any of the game-ruining bugs that they put into the definitive edition.
Because I do have that on the PS3.
But I can tell you right now, the mechanics suck compared to modern GTA. Like, they are bad mechanics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you just go, oh, God.
Damn it.
Grand Theft Auto. You know how there was that Diablo meme from when it wasn't Diablo, it was World of Warcraft. There was the Blizzard meme about World of Warcraft when the guys were like, hey, can we have World of Warcraft Classic? And the guy was like, trust me, you don't want that. Mm. And it turns out that they actually did want that. But in this situation, the nostalgia of being like, I'm going to go back and play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is that you don't want that.
Okay.
You love all of the new conveniences that are in Grand Theft Auto 4, but mainly Grand Theft Auto 5.
See, the thing is,
it is hard to go back and play the old Xbox games after having Grand Theft Auto 5 in your life.
Because the only thing I find disappointing about it is, comparing it to Grand Theft Auto 5 and San Andreas, I had far more fun with San Andreas.
Oh, it's a fantastically fun game, but
yeah,
the things that they removed, you don't miss. Like, all of the life stuff that you had to do, like get fat, eat food, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't miss it in Grand Theft Auto 5. True. And the stuff that they added, let me tell you, you miss that when you go backwards. You do. True. You miss all of it.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% know this. There are things that are going to annoy me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do remember like just doing certain things in that game, and it was just so much fun.
Oh, it was.
And it was pointless stuff. It was mind-numbingly boring stuff, but it was just so much fun.
Mm-hmm. And to give you I think what is one of the best ideas of just how bad it got.
Yeah.
So, planes in this is again the definitive edition, but planes in the definitive edition, you're like, oh god, these are slow and useless.
Then again, I find
because the map is so small, so they don't move fast. So again, it's just quality of life things that you just go. Oh
then again, I find when I'm playing GTA 5, flying in that game just seems so slow.
Oh, it is. It's far too slow.
It is. And it's like I feel like I get in a car. As much as yes, a plane will get somewhere faster, the car just feels so much faster.
Yeah, it does. They do a great job with that. But I just sometimes you get that nostalgia look. And you go, I want to go back and play an old game. And if it's a one-off old game where there is no new versions of it, you're probably safe.
True.
If there is a new version of it, are you in trouble?
Well, not even just a new version of it, just the same style of game will screw you over.
Wow, yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. But, yeah, That was probably my biggest disappointment the year it came out.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm going to take that back because I think the year it came out, Battlefield 2042, I can't remember what it's called. 2042. I think it's 2042.
Yeah.
It's the one that I always get wrong. That one also, I'm pretty sure, also came out the same year, and that was a disappointment.
True.
I hear it's better now, but it's lost my interest.
Yes.
And it cost me fuck tons of money.
Oh, yeah.
It cost me a lot of money to get that game, and I went, I love Battlefield, and then it came out, and I wasted so much money.
See, I just saw something came out the other day, and I'm like, oh, I really want it, but I don't have the money. God damn it.
It's rough.
Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I have heard some stuff about that one.
Okay.
It's not. I hear it's quite linear.
Okay.
It's not a great Final Fantasy game. No, I've heard some things about it. It's a good game, but it's not a great Final Fantasy game, from what a lot of people are saying.
Okay. Fair enough.
But yeah, Final Fantasy 16. I had actually forgotten that came out, but
Oh, so did I. I just saw something on it last night. I'm like, wait, it's out? What? Huh? What?
yeah. See, I think that's also the part of what I've been hearing, because it's been out for a little while.
Came out about a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, because I've been seeing it on YouTube a lot, like people talking about it in their reviews and stuff. But yeah. See, and for a game like Final Fantasy, which is a massive genre,
To have a silent
to have
release.
a game that comes out where there's not this giant fanfare that it's out, that's telling.
Because, oh yeah, I expected to see far more on it. Like, it was a very silent release this time.
Yep. But anyway, guys, look, we've got some impatient people who are here to do some stuff, filming among us. So we are going to wrap this one up today. As always, if you have enjoyed, please do like, share, comment, even consider subscribing. We really do appreciate it. And if you do have any game ideas that you would like to see me and Kris play, leave them in the comments. I eventually read them.
Yes.
He doesn't do shit. Look at him.
Hey, I read Lucan's.
Oh, yeah, he read Lucan's.
Wait.
Once.
Yes. Jaden's. I read his.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. He's read 2 comments.
3 technically, Jaden put 2.
Yes, guys, thank you for joining us. As always, I've been Darcy, he's been Kris.
Yes.
And until next time, see you later.
So.
Actually, if you're that bad on the Thursday, it's going to be a fun car trip on the Saturday.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Fucking put your head out a window and keep driving. Just let the air run through you.
Pretty much. Open your mouth, let it run through.
What will you do if the crisp mountain air
Fucks me over.
fixes you?
Oh, that would be fucking fantastic. That would be fantastic.
Just like, oh my god, no humidity. I can finally breathe.
So guys, I can breathe. Let's do this.
Guys, I've got to move to the mountains.